AITA for not inviting all students to a barbecue? Originally posted by Prize Property 794 in r. Am I the Asshole on April 27, 23. Updated on May 1, 23. An NBSP. Original. April 27, 23. An NBSP. AITA for not inviting all students to a barbecue? I, 30F, am a teacher. I have a class with 24 students. I teach first grade. I told my students that we could have a barbecue at a park with hot dogs and hamburgers and snacks for whoever filled their good noodle sticker charts. This has been approved by the principal, and I teach at a private school. We have daily sticker charts to track their behavior in school. They had to have perfect behavior all of April in order to participate. I have one student who has some behavioral issues. They did not earn all of their good noodle stickers this month. Since this student we'll call Bobby didn't earn the barbecue, I had let his mother know just in case he mentioned it. Bobby would join another class for the day and do work inside while his classmates were at the barbecue. She has been sending emails complaining to myself and the principal all week about how her child should also be able to participate, and it is unfair. She thinks we should make an exception since he has behavioral issues and feels we could be targeting him. I think I'm being fair because he did not earn all of his good noodle stickers. So AITA? An NBSP. In the comments. Does Bobby have a diagnosis for his behavioral issues? There is a diagnosis and an IEP that we follow. So his good noodle chart is handled slightly more lenient. This comment was deleted. The charts are on the classroom door so all the kids know who gets their stickers because they're visible. 1. Were the parents given advance notice of these sticker charts and that going to the barbecue was contingent on getting enough good noodle stickers? 2. Did Bobby's mother notify you of his behavioral issues at the beginning of the school year? Or was his behavioral issues sudden news to you? Edit. Upon further reading you mentioned Bobby has an IEP. But how far in advance was this IEP communicated to you? 3. Edit. Are good noodle sticker charts school-wide? Or, all of the parents were made aware at the beginning of the school year about the good noodle sticker charts. We also send the sticker charts home every month so parents can see how their child behaved. We have known about Bobby's behavioral issues all year. There is an IEP in place. Bobby is actually how the good noodle sticker charts started. His mom suggested a sticker chart to be part of his IEP, but to make it so that he wasn't different. I did sticker charts for the whole class. Bobby's is more lenient than the rest of the class, though without the kids knowing that, of course. IEPs are not voluntary to follow. You must follow them. In public school, yes. But in a private they aren't required to legally follow them because they're not federally funded. Because we're not federally funded, we also don't have to have students take the same state exams either. Provides more info. The sticker charts aren't meant to have perfect behavior. That's not realistic. They're for basic things that the kids and I chose in the beginning of the year as their classroom rules. Raised your hand. Was respectful. Kind to other students. Etc. Small mistakes we let go. I have a teacher's aide on some days. If the majority of the day was a good day, we give them their good noodle sticker. It's reasonable expectations. Raise your hand, etc. We're a small private school from K-8th grade. We only have one class per grade. It's a very small private school. The park is on our school grounds. How many parent-teacher conferences did you have? How often did you send notes to the parents? There were several questions like this, but never provided answers. Judgment. Asshole. An NBSP. I believe this first update is the next day. Update. I had a meeting today after school with the parents and the principal. The principal agrees it would not be fair to the other students to allow Bobby to participate. She expressed she understands the frustration, but she needs to make it fair for all students and not just Bobby. The father said he understood and thought it was a fair assessment if all the other students were able to complete the goal. The mother argued Bobby's IEP. The principal then reminded her we follow his IEP as a courtesy, but as a private school we legally do not have to follow it, and she has a choice to come to this school, but if she'd like to unenroll Bobby, then there was a waiting list of students they could contact to take his place. Bobby will still be enrolled in the school and in my class if anyone is wondering. He will not be attending the barbecue. An NBSP. Second update. May 1st, 23 dated through Reddit. An NBSP. Update 2. Bobby's mother came to the school yesterday to drop off Bobby's lunch he forgot at home. She arrived during the children's snack recess. All of the kids were playing freeze tag, a game where once you're tagged you have to freeze until someone unfreezes you. I was inside prepping art while the teacher's aide was with them. Bobby's mother came inside absolutely livid, saying we were forcing her child to stand in one place and not let him move. We explained the game and she said then the students are cruel for not unfreezing him but unfreezing everyone else. She was making such a big scene and so loud the principal overheard. Their office is down the hall. His mother was removed from the school grounds and we had a meeting with his father in the afternoon. The principal let him know Bobby would need to be unenrolled due to his mother's behavior. He did try to get him to stay until at least the end of the year but ultimately understood. He was also told if Bobby's mother is on the school grounds again the police department will be called immediately. An NBSP. Reminder. Do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. What I want to know is with Bobby having the IEP and his parents know the private school doesn't have to follow it, why is he at that school? Bobby has some behavioral issues but is doing okay. And it's his mom's behavioral issues that get him kicked out of school. Great job, Mom. I understand the parent is wrong for that. But come on now. One child out of all them just got alienated. This teacher probably caused this kid to be the laughingstock of the classroom and the kid cannot fully control it due to behavioral issues that are not easy to understand. It's one thing to have a reward system, but a public barbecue? TA and the teacher should lose their license for that behavior. Kids can be mean at that age and they embarrassed that child. Using a group event as a behavior prize will definitely emphasize the fact that children with behavior problems will be left out. Using little gifts as rewards instead felt like a better idea. Poor Bobby. He's the one who's suffering. This is not the teacher for him. This is not the school for him. There's also a lot of context that's missing from the original posting. I thought the judgment of asshole was the correct one. Putting aside all factors, excluding a 6-year-old from a classroom gathering is almost always the wrong thing. Short of safety, emergency scenarios. There's too much missing information to really make a call on if the mother is really an asshole. Or, if she's a desperate mother. There are some wonderful private schools. There are some absolutely horrendous ones, where blind eyes are turned towards bullying activities. Because the arbitrary process of disliking a child, family, is acceptable. I'm so curious if the kids actually did target Bobby to stay frozen forever. Because if that's the case, Mom didn't help the situation. I can't fathom the idea of excluding one child from entire classmates, and he is probably aware too. Since he is not that small child. I can't know if it is the right call to fix behavioral issues. I am no teacher nor psychiatrist, but my heart sinks even when I read this. I can't judge if she is asshole or not, but I am 100% sure I can't do what she did. This is the problem with setting up rewards and challenges you don't want to go through with. Getting a prize drawer would have been so much less exclusive than a barbecue in feeling, and would have allowed more frequent encouragement for the kids' good charts. Mom was way overcompensating, though. She should have just said, "Hey, you tried, but you need to try a little bit harder next year. I'll take you to get some ice cream after school." Instead, as a person with ADHD, this post is gut-wrenching for me. Can't tell you how many times I was excluded from doing fun stuff with my peers, which directly resulted in them bullying me because I was the bad kid. What a horrible teacher, school. IDK about this one, to be honest. Who is the reliable narrator? The person who made it so a public social reward depended on a month-long evaluation of a child with behavioral issues? The mother who thinks setting up a public shame chart for her kid is a good idea. Were the kids being cruel to the kid, or did the mother overreact? How are we supposed to know? A broken clock is right 2 times a day. Even if she was wrong about everything else, she could have been right about this. The only thing I know is that I don't like any of this for that kid. I quit education right before my student teaching, but I am in school for an education-adjacent career. The fact that Bobby has an IEP in this private school is saying that, well, it's a courtesy for us to follow it, is. I mean, anyone else kind of horrified? Like, why not follow the IEP? Wouldn't you want to make sure a child with special needs has appropriate accommodations? I dunno. The fact that they seem to be holding the fact that following this plan is an inconvenience over their head is just kinda ridiculous. That's not to say the behavior from the mom is okay. The irony that she's worse behaved than Bobby, lol. I'm grossed out by the school and this teacher. Did she even investigate if the other kids were actually bullying the kid in the freeze tag game? And any reward system that publicly singles out a 6-year-old for their bad behavior is not a functioning reward system, especially one that had to have perfect behavior all of April. That's a long time for a 6-year-old. Disgusting. This woman comes across as having zero compassion for a 67-year-old who is the only child excluded from a class party. He is going to remember this for the rest of his life, and he is already well on his way to not trusting teachers and hating school. I know, because I'm a social worker and I work with disabled kids. I get to clean up the mess teachers like this make of kids' spirits. Bobby's mother was probably at the end of her rope. I've accompanied many parents to school meetings, and it's incredibly difficult to remain calm when your child is being blamed for the school's failure. Also, you don't serve hamburgers and hot dogs at a barbecue. That's a cookout. This school sounds like an awful environment for Bobby. IDK. Based on the teacher's other comments in other threads. Had she actually followed this child's IEP and really implemented positive behavior strategies? Hello PBIS. They probably would be progressing. But she feels 6-year-olds should be spending their summer with packets of math, reading, etc., and then turn it in on the first day of school. She needs to go back to school and or find herself another profession. As well as the principal. Not at all negating how the mom reacted. However, if my child was being treated this way and I walked in on a supposed game where they were being left out, I may react the same. It's probably the best for that if they got kicked out. Hopefully they can find a better teacher who actually follows the IEP and knows what they're doing. This one broke my heart. I am usually pro-teacher. This school doesn't sound like there's any reason to work for them except cash. I've been an educator for over 30 years. A long time ago, I used to use sticker charts because that was expected of me where I worked. But then I just stopped because it was a pain in the ass and it just felt icky. These may be tools of equality, but they are not tools of equity. Children who struggle to meet the goals of the charts, whatever they may be, become pariahs to their peers. And it's school-approved ostracism. It wouldn't surprise me if his classmates were keeping him frozen in freeze tag. Because children don't always have coping tools for dealing with a challenging classmate. And clearly the adults at the school are not modeling for them more equitable ways of treating him. These practices harm children. Not just the ones who stand out as inferior to their peers on the sticker charts, but also the classmates who are basically rewarded for being born neurotypical. This is a good reminder that often the reason that private schools have better test scores than public schools is because they remove the students who are difficult to teach. Everyone except Bobby is a flaming pants-on forehead asshole. He's like 6. He's not able to make the correlation between why he wasn't allowed to go. He'll just feel left out and abandoned, which he is. As someone who used to work in education, parents like Bobby's mother are far too common. Their kid has perfectly explainable behavioral issues, but that never accounts for why the parents can't control their own emotions.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.